Hello, sixth graders. Today we're going to be learning about division. And hopefully by the end of this couple day lesson, you will have a better understanding of how to divide. So division. Division is a skill that you will use to find how many things are either split up or shared equally into different groups. So it's really like the reverse of multiplication. So addition and subtraction go together, they undo each other, or they work together. Multiplication and division go together. So division is an operation that finds how many things are split equally into groups. All right, split or like shared. So you can like split it apart or share it. All right, within division, we have a couple really important words, but first I want to talk about some of the symbols that you might see in division, because as a sixth grader, you've already seen quite a few different symbols. So the one that you are most familiar with is probably this one. You see that and you know for sure that you are using division. Another symbol that you use is the slash. We've seen that one. Another one that you've seen is a fraction, the fraction line. Sometimes you have the A on the top, the B on the bottom, or like a 1 or a 2. 3 or 4, something like that. And then this little L looking house thing. Okay, the house, right? So you've got the long division symbol. So all of these symbols are represent division. All of them. They all are used for dividing. Okay, within division, we have some different words. The first word, let's start with a problem here. So let's say that we have the math problem of, well, I'll just write it in here. Okay, so let's say we have 20 divided by 5 equals 4. Okay, so we're going to use this math problem right here. Okay, we have this with the green box. This problem, this 20 right here, this one is called the dividend. All right, so this is the dividend. This is the number that's going to be shared or split equally. Okay, so this is what we're sharing or splitting equally. All right, that's one of them. So that's one word, the dividend. It's what's being shared equally. All right, the next thing that we have is the divisor. All right, so the divisor. The divisor is right here. This is the divisor. The divisor tells us, that looks like an R in the middle. That's a V. Sorry. The divisor. The divisor is how many groups it needs to be shared into, or like how many people it's being shared among. So I have 20 things and it's being split into 5 equal groups or 5 equal parts. So the divisor says how many times or how many groups we need to split it into. So how many let's go with groups again. Groups, it is split into. That's the divisor. Okay, and then last but not least, let's use orange for this so that it stands out a little bit more. You have the quotient. Now, like in multiplication, you have the product, and the product is the answer to a multiplication problem. The quotient is the answer to a division problem, or how many in each group. So the quotient, that's this right here. This is the quotient. This is how many or in each group, or the answer. Okay, so it doesn't matter like how it's written. It could be written with this symbol. It could be written with this symbol. It could be written with this one, or the long division. And I know the long division is the one that's giving you the most trouble. So let's use these words with the long division so that you can see how to write it. Okay, so in long division, when we have a long division problem, the dividend is in the house. So the dividend is here, is there. The divisor is on the outside. And then the quotient is what goes on top. The quotient is what's on top. The answer is on the top. So if I were to follow this same math problem right here, I would have 20 divided by 5 equals 4. So it's written the same way. It goes around in a circle. 20 divided by 5 equals 4. Okay, so there's a little bit of backstory for you around division. So division is really all about splitting things up into equal groups. So let's talk about what exactly that looks like when you have this L on its side, because I know a lot of you are really confused about what happens when you have this L looking thing. Okay, so yeah, keyword there, right, was by, right? 20 divided by 5, 20 divided by 5, 20 divided by 5, right? That divided by, whatever's being divided by, it's the dividend divided by the divisor equals the quotient. So you really could write this as a sentence to know the vocabulary words. Okay, so let's just talk about now about having like a group of things and needing to split it up into some parts. Okay, so let's say that I have example A. Okay, so example A. Let's say that I have, let's say I have 12 divided by 2. Okay, well, what does this really look like? Well, first of all, this looks like I have 12 things split into 2 groups. So this means that I have 12 items in 2 groups. So I could draw this out like this. So here, I'm going to make a group here, and I'm going to make a group here. So I have 1 group, 2 groups, and in each group, I'm just going to start splitting until I get rid of my 12 things. So here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So I've gotten rid of 12 things, and now let's check and see how much is in each group. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So my quotient is 6. So 12 items in 2 groups is 6. I have 6 dots in each thing, in each group. That is really how this works. Okay, let's do another example. Let's do example B. I want for you to do, let's say that I have 32 divided by 4. 32 divided by 4. So this really means that I have 32 things divided into 4 groups, right? So this is saying I have 32 divided by 4. If I don't like the way that this is written, I can always just say 32 divided by 4. It means the exact same thing. So this is saying 32 divided into 4 groups. All right, so now I'm going to make 4 groups. So I need 4 different groups. So let's get 4 groups. So here's a group. Here's a group. Here's a group. And here is a group. All right. And now I need to put 32 things into these 4 groups. So I'm just going to start putting 32 things into my groups. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32. Okay, now we're going to count how many are in each group. I have 8 in this group, 8 in this group, 8, and 8. So 32 divided into 4 groups is 8. Are you seeing how this is working? I have 8 things in each group. If I know that the reverse of this, the reverse of division is multiplication, I could have just looked at this and said, oh, well, if I know that I want this to equal 32, well, 4 times what gives me 32? Well, I know that 4 times 8 gives me 32, so I can always check myself that way. Same thing up here. If I want 12 to be my equal, I can always say, well, 2 times what gives me 12? Well, 6 times 2 gives me 12. It just goes in reverse. All right, it is your turn to do some try-its, so let's do some try-its. We're going to do 2 of them to check your understanding. One of using the vocabulary. And then 2, I want to check your understanding of actual division. So of what it is. So here is a try it. So try it number 1. I want you to identify the vocabulary. All right. So I want you to identify the vocabulary. 25 divided by 5 equals 5, which is weird because like they're the same. But I want you to label for me the dividend, the divisor, and the quotient. Okay, so label the dividend, divisor, and the quotient. So label the 3 parts. And then on number 2, try it number 2, I would like for you to please divide 18 divided by 6. 18 divided by 6. And then I want you to check your work with multiplication. All right, go ahead and hit pause right now so you don't hear me solving the problems. Alrighty, so the quotient is right here. That one is the answer. So that one is the quotient. The quotient is always on top. Quotient is the outcome. It's what you get. All right, and then we said the divisor and the dividend. And it's okay for you to look back at your notes, right? It's always okay for you to look back at your notes. What colors did I use? I think I used green for dividend. Okay, so did I use green for the dividend? Yes, okay. So the dividend is here. It's the one that is being split up. That's the dividend. That's the one that's being split into equal parts. And the divisor is right here. That's how many parts how many groups we want. So I wanted 25 in 5 groups, which meant that there were 5 in each group. All right, how did you do on your vocabulary? Alrighty, and now, number 2. All right, I have 18 divided by 6. 18 divided by 6. So my first thing is I have to get 18 split into 6 equal groups. So I'm going to make 6 equal groups. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And so now I'm going to put 18 into 6 equal groups. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So I have 3. That is a 3. Oh my goodness, missing a letter. That means that I have 3. So my answer is 3. The quotient is 3. Okay, now I needed to check my work. Well, I know that if my answer was 18, if I wanted 18 total things, I would know that 6 times 3 is 18. It's just reversed. All right, Cougars, go ahead and answer your essential question. What is division? So answer that essential question of what is division. And then go ahead and rate your level of understanding. Where are you at now versus where were you before with division? And you can go ahead and head on over to Big Ideas and start your practice work. As always, I appreciate your hard work and effort, and make it a great day the Cougar way.